Hello, how is it going? So, this has been something that was on my mind since last year, but I'm just going to talk about it now. Actually, before that, and this is I noticed how a lot of black women used to want to defend, black men, and literally slit the throats of other black women for black men. Well, I couldn't help but notice that a couple of times when some of these ladies go to white men or non-black men. But specifically white men, since it's the United States, that's just the biggest population. And I'm gonna give a couple of examples. Now, one example is I still am, but I haven't been reading the articles lately. But I subscribed to this interracial dating blog, right? And I don't know how the ladies are now, but I noticed like a year ago to 2 years ago, it seems like you couldn't because a lot of white men and black women would participate in the commentary. And it just seems like you were not allowed to disagree with the white man. And I'm that kind of person, I'm a very individual person. I am not a community type person. I'm not. That's why I don't say we when it comes to black women. You just don't hear me say we. When it comes to black people, you don't hear me say we. Reason why is because I don't share a collective consciousness with majority of black women. I don't. And I'm not gonna. I'm just not. I don't agree with what a lot of things. If I don't agree with what a lot of things a group of people do, I'm not going to consider myself anymore a part of them. Okay, but that's just me. That doesn't mean everybody else have to feel that way. But I'm just very individual in my thinking. Okay, and it just seems like you're not supposed to disagree. Well, back then, because I can't say that's happening now. I haven't been reading the blogs. But back then, it just seems like you were not allowed to disagree with a white man. And some people might say, "Yeah, don't worship these men. They work." No, no, no. See, what it is that same attitude in protecting black men, they brought that into another group of men. And see, here's the thing: you women like that create narcissism in these men because trust me, the narcissism that's in black men have been created because black women fed them a bunch of lies, made them feel like they were more important than what they were. They spoil the mess out of them while they want the women to be mused. They will slit another woman's throat for this man, do anything for him. See, narcissism sometimes can be created in a group of people, and that bad habit was carried. Is I see with some black women is carried over into non-black men. Okay, and this is why some people just say it's best for a lot of black women, especially if they're dealing with if they've dealt with a lot of toxicity, if they dealt with a lot of trauma, if they dealt with just a lot of emotional pain or whatever. It's probably best, even if it was done by a father, a black mother, a black boyfriend. It's best to be single for a while to really go deep, because what happened is that there's a problem with seeking validation in this external world, and validation in the external world is fake. You cannot get validation in the external world without inner validation. You need to validate yourself. You need to love yourself before you can really receive validation from the external world. But I just want to get back on point here. Yeah, so it seems like I just didn't want. I did when I said that it seems like the ladies, treated you like you weren't supposed to disagree with the white man. I just didn't want to give anybody the impression that these ladies were worshiping white men. No, they take it for these white men the same way they would take it for their brothers and their fathers and their uncles, and they changed over to the white man. That's what happened. It's not so much that they worshiping these men, because I'm getting a little tired of being accused. Some black women being accused of worshiping a white man. I think the black woman has worshipped black men far more than she has ever worshipped the white man. That's just me though. That's me. Look at what's happening now. You see how they kill their own babies for these black men. How many babies have black women killed for the white man? Black women do, and I'm sorry I'm going on long with this, but I didn't want that to be misconstrued because I see how quickly black women can be accused of worshiping white men. But no, I'm seeing the same energy being carried to another group of men. So I'm sorry for going on long with that. Now I'm just going to give another example. And I still like this blog, nothing against it, but I just happened to notice that, and I just felt like talking about it right now. And another one is there's a YouTuber named Gypsy Talk, right? And I hope she doesn't mind me, talking about her because it's nothing negative. She wanted to warn the black women to be careful of certain white men that take advantage of the fact that there is some type of gender gap going on between black women and black men. Even though a lot of black women are brainwashed, there still is a gap going on. And so there's a guy named Cohen Nanick that uploads video after video after video after video about black women, right? Cohen Nanick, Coen, I think that's how you spell his name, and Nanick, Nanick. So that's the Caucasian male that uploads a lot of videos about black women. And so the only thing that Gypsy Talk was trying to say is that be careful with a lot of these white guys on social media because you need to understand their true intentions. She didn't even bash him. And I think when a black woman tried to take that message to him and accuse Gypsy Talk of bashing him, he didn't even believe her. He's like, well, I need to see the real evidence of where she was bashing me. Right now, I don't see where she was bashing me. I think that's what I saw Cohen Nanick, how he responded. He didn't even think that Gypsy Talk was bashing him. But these black women, I guess you can call them mammies or handmaidens, how they're handmaidens for black men, did the same thing with this white guy. They went in on Gypsy Talk and they attacked her like some doggone pit bulls over that white man. Attacked her like she made a video about it. I don't know if it's still up, but I watched that video and I think it was last year. They attacked her like some crazy pit bulls over Cohen Nanick when she didn't even insult him. She was just saying, black women, be careful of certain white men that takes advantage of the situation that's going on. Be careful because some of them can see the vulnerability in a lot of black women and they can use that to their advantage. Don't think for a second. This is something that a lot of black women, that's why I've made videos about going into the woods and being single. I kind of encourage a lot of black women just to be single for a while. I do. Because they're not well. And see, the thing is, narcissism in these guys can be created. If he sees that black women are willing to be his pit bulls and be his handmaiden, then he's not going to be too much different than how the black men are. You see? So that's why I say that, and this is for those black women who still, because see, I don't know everybody who listen. I'm not going to make assumption that, okay, I stopped. So, but the truth is that a good majority of black women do go to bat for black men. They go to bat for their black brothers. They go to bat for their black fathers far more than their black brothers defend them. And that's just a fact. And so I'm saying that, it's not unusual to another group of men. It's just a habit that they have. And so I'm saying that, just be careful not to carry this bad habit in with other non-black men. And some women, to me, I just feel like need to be single. I think they need to work on themselves before they really seek a relationship in any man, to be honest with you. Now I can honestly say, the numbers are limited when it comes to the black men. It's not hardly any to choose from, especially with the growing transgender movement, the growing homosexuality, the growing bisexuality, and then them just wanting to be with different groups of women, and the unemployment rate, the prison, it's just so much, it's so many reasons why, black women don't have a choice but to go outside of their race. But at the same time, these bad habits that a lot of these black women had have not been, they have not detoxified themselves or detoxed themselves from these bad habits. And so, granted that there's not many black men to choose from, they're carrying their mental illness to other non-black men. And a big mental illness I see is kind of being a pit bull for them and defending them, and not giving them a chance to make them feel feminine. They're not being feminine. They're going into these relationships still being masculine. Now, that's just some of them, not all of them, because the ones I see on social media, like these vlogs on YouTube, a lot of these black women look quite feminine. So I'm not talking about really most black women who date non-black men. For the most part, when I see them, they look pretty feminine to me. But I have seen a few that will cut your throat over this white man just like they cut your throat over this black man. So I'm just saying, to anybody who have those kind of bad habits, because I don't know who you are, but anybody who might have that type of habit, just be careful of that type of energy, and just be careful not to take it to other groups of people, because no matter where you go, you will always find yourself being a sacrifice for somebody else. You will always find yourself in that position, no matter what cultural background the man is. Okay, and with that said, I'll talk to you later.